Welcome to Ninon Speaks. I'm your host, Ninon de Rosa, and my co-host is AJ Dean. Sit back and enjoy the show. Welcome to Ninon Speaks. I'm Ninon, your host, and I have AJ with me. This is an internet Zoom thing that we are doing. We're actually helping and bringing people onto a platform with this epidemic and everything going on out there. We're trying to give everybody a platform and also to see how we can help them in putting them out there in media and sort of, we're also on iPods. We have a lot of iPods going on. So we're getting you out there as of your name and what you're doing and the new way of entertaining. I guess that's what it is, because we've all had to do something different. Now, the only problem is, are we ready? And I don't think we are. I don't think we're ready to go back to what we were doing before. I think we've all found a new platform. We've all found a different way, and we kind of all love it. On that, I'm going to hand you over to AJ. She is my co-host, absolutely an amazing woman. And we're putting this whole show together. We're doing extremely well, getting a lot of great talent coming on. So we can also give them, you know, the big talent and the small talent and the middle talent. They all need a platform. I don't care whether you're big, small, I don't care what you are. You all need to know that you're still out there, you're still working. Okay, now who are our guests today, AJ?
Yes, thank you so much, Ninon. We have a fabulous show today. We have the wonderful Nicole Cyrese, a celebrity hairstylist, with an exclusive premiere today on Ninon Speaks. And we also have the legend herself, the First Lady of Burlesque, April March. And I want to give a shout out to Brandon Scott from the Company Salon and Spa at Saratoga Springs, New York. That's upstate New York. Everyone, he is the wonder behind the scenes, and we want to give a shout out and thank you. And welcome to Nicole and April March. Hello, lovely ladies. How are you?
Wonderful. How are you?
You're looking absolutely amazing. April, March, you are getting younger and not older. I was going to say you're 39 and holding, but I think you're gravitating down to 29 and holding. you look amazing, I'm telling you. Nicole, you are so beautiful.
Thank you.
What relationship are you to April?
She's my grandmother.
See, I wanted to hear that. That's why because hey, April, you have incredible, good-looking grandchildren.
Thank you, Ninon.
Yes, and today I just wanted to introduce Nicole Cyrese. She's absolutely wonderful. Please tell us about your fabulous newly designed collection. We have a premiere today, right?
Yes, so I have a new collection. The new collection is called the April March collection.
Oh, wow.
Yes, so it is in tribute to my grandmother. The AM collection defines the modern woman, intelligent, confident, strong, and beautiful, with a pioneering spirit. Everything she does is done with grace and class. She believes anything is possible when you set your heart and mind on it. She surrounds herself with those who value and support her and want to further her success. She believes that finding true love and passion results in enormous energy for fulfilling life. She's ambitious, adventurous, and a lover of beauty. The April March collection is in tribute to my grandmother, the legendary Miss April March, the First Lady of Burlesque. Her elegance and class graced the stage from the early 1950s through nearly every state and many countries. She is known throughout the world for demonstrating the true beauty of classic burlesque. She loved the stage and she loved her fans. And most importantly, she loved her family.
Wasn't that beautiful? Wow, are you well spoken, Nicole?
Nicole. Thank you.
Nicole, this line that you've brought out, is it a modern? I mean, can anybody wear it? Because obviously it's gravitating, and you've already thought the idea of your grandmother, of what she used to wear, which I believe a lot of that stuff is coming back. But are you also putting the modern style in there? And are the younger generation getting a little bit more sort of, you know, glitzy and a little bit more sort of jewelry? It seems that way. I mean, maybe I'm wrong.
No, absolutely is. Lately there's been I've been seeing a lot of different color variations.
Yeah.
So, I mean, even back then in the 1950s, in that era, and then today, I mean, I feel like it's all coming
back. Isn't it? Yeah, it's coming back. April, do you see that? April, hi, how are you, April? You're looking absolutely glamorous, my dear.
Oh, listen, I have a lot to live up to with what Nicole said of me.
You do. But it's all true. It's all true.
That's right.
I am so proud of my granddaughter. She has just, well, I've instilled in her ever since she was a child, a baby, more or less, what to do and help her along her way of growing up and hoping that she would become the success that she has become and marry the man of her dreams, which she has.
Do you approve of him?
Oh, I definitely approve of Matt Eventoff.
Okay, Nicole, you're okay.
Ask for a better grandson.
Did you have any grandchildren yet? April.
No, they have Callie Bear is their little dog. And that's granddaughter. I think their lifestyles are a bit like hectic in order for them to have had a child. They each are exceptional in what they do.
Yeah. Now,
they travel all over the world.
Oh, wonderful.
They go. Now, he's the most romantic person. The jewels that he gives her, roses he gives her all the time. I mean, you couldn't ask for a more perfect couple than they are.
In fact, you're wearing one of her jewels right now. Isn't that right, April? It's the bee design, I believe.
I've got the bumblebee because the crystal pins didn't go with the outfit, and I'm matching. So I'm waiting. I'm awaiting a couple of the creations of the April-March.
Oh.
So, and I'll get more freebies.
Ooh, there you go. So
Nicole, can we see some of your beautiful designs? Could you show us some for the viewers and the audience of Ninon's audience?
Yes. So to begin, I am wearing one, by the way. Can you see it?
Now, I love it. I love it. Now, Nicole, are we getting into a lot of hair ornaments? It looks like it.
Yeah. So this isn't my entire brand. They're all hair accessories and they're all handmade. They're ethically sourced. I have all Swarovski crystals, predominantly of my entire brand. I have other designers I work with as well, but the Unity collection, which is all Swarovski crystal, and now the April-March collection is Swarovski crystal. They're all from Switzerland. All the Swarovskis are from Switzerland, from the manufacturer.
Can we see a few beautiful creations?
Yes. Okay, so the one I have in my hair now is a small version of this one. This is a graphite and jet black Swarovski crystal. Can you see it?
Can you
put it in front? There, that's it. In front of your. I hate to say put it in front of your face, but in front of your neck.
Here's another example of one. This is one of my favorites. This is the first one I designed for my grandmother. This is a golden shadow shade along with a silver shade Swarovski crystal.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
This combination, I was playing with some crystals. My grandmother really, encouraged me to create my own designs for her. And this was the first one. So this is gold and silver, and she loves gold and silver together.
Together, absolutely beautiful. What made you, and also April, let me ask you April first. April, are you approving of all these different hair pieces that she's making for the hair to dress the hair up, rather than your neck is also dressed up as well? You've got a beautiful necklace on. So do you like all these different hair pieces? Because I know a lot of people are now wearing a lot of hair pieces and wigs.
I love them. I should wear my hair back more sleek once in a while because I think that shows, like they look good in your hair, Ninon, too.
Yes, I should put a couple in hair.
Yeah. But
we're gonna have to get you both one.
AJ's got the perfect hair for them, and so anyway, I started looking at I think Nicole came out with the hair jewels way before the magazines like Vogue and In Style And
Really?
those magazines are showing hair jewelry too, but they're not like Nicole's. Theirs are a less expensive brand and
Yes.
not using Swarovski crystal. But every model, every actress that I see in the magazines, they're all wearing hair jewels.
Absolutely. Now, what about the weight of them?
And I got to get up to date. We got to start wearing more hair jewels.
Oh, I'll start wearing them, absolutely. What about the weight of them? Because I know they have to be a lightweight to fit in your hair. So,
And
Absolutely.
also what about the materials that you use, and why was it hair jewels that you went in that direction, Nicole?
Well, first off, to answer Ninon's question, they are lightweight, and they're all ethically sourced, but they're sustainable for anyone, any
anyone's hair.
type.
Because I know, because if you put something in your hair, it can sort of drop out, so you have to be careful and have to have that clip on it. Because I remember when years ago, more about April and myself's time, going back a few years, I used to wear these little clips, and they used to have little pearls on them and little things on them, and I'd clip it into my hair, but they stayed there. They were quite cool, but they were good. But I was wondering about the Swarovskis with all the diamonds and everything, how heavy it would become, but it's quite light, huh?
Yes, it's lightweight, and like I said, they could go in any hair type, fine hair, thick hair, ethnic hair. So I have predominantly all hair clips and pins. I do have headbands. I have designers who make those. But these clips, I use alligator clips, and then I have them sent out to be plated. So I order the clips, they come in, I send them out, and I have them plated to the design, the kind I want for a finish.
Yeah.
And then once they come back, I put the crystals on and I design them. But the French barrette clips have done extremely well as also. I use organza on them, satin ribbon, all types of ribbon actually.
If people don't know if people don't know what organza is a very light kind of fine material, which is very, very beautiful, and it's very silky and very expensive looking. So you're choosing all the right things, all the right ingredients for a clip. It's absolutely amazing. How long have you been in business, Nicole?
So I launched the brand in the fall of 2019.
Oh, recent.
Yes, and I had I had a pre-launch because I wanted the public to understand that this is a new brand, and I basically wanted to try it out and see how people would like it.
Yeah.
And at that time, the holidays were approaching. It was actually an incredibly good time to launch this type of brand. Well, we did extremely well for my first season. And
were you surprised?
I was, considering the outcome.
Nice.
Yes. I had a feeling it would do well. I even remember showing my grandmother some of the pieces I made even before I was making them. And she said, "Oh, Nicole, they're going to do okay, just a 5." But yeah, so we did so well that there it was. We officially launched January of 2020. That was the official launch.
Okay, so do you have a line, an April-March line? Because I know you kind of designed a lot of this, you got kind of a lot of the ideas from your grandmother, but do you actually have an April-March line?
Yeah, so now we have the April-March collection. And yes, so we just thought of this, and instead of making 1, 2, or 3, I figured let's make an entire collection. So I started out with 7 different designs, and now we have 8. So we'll begin with that. So we have the medium and small size alligator clips with the Swarovski crystals. They're all plated in a champagne satin finish. And then we'll proceed from there. But I think this is a great start to begin for the April-March collection.
So April, how do you like having a whole collection of jewelry from your granddaughter? This is amazing. What a beautiful gift.
Oh, I'm so flattered, and so I mean it's just astonishing. I told her the other day though. I said, sweetheart, on the April-March collection, I said, can you make the Eiffel Tower?
Of course you can.
And I said, I'd like to have the Eiffel Tower in my hair.
Okay, and why the Eiffel Tower? Did you actually climb that?
No, every time. Well, she and Matt have gone to Paris I don't know how many times, at least a half a dozen times in the past few years. But anyway, when I was over in England working in Manchester back in 1962, I was approached by an agent from London that wanted me to tour Europe for 6 months. And I didn't want to leave Nicole's mother at that time alone back in Florida. And so I turned down the contract, and it was to work in Italy, to work in Paris,
Oh boy.
all over. And I've always wanted to go to Paris, and I never got there. But Nicole is fulfilling my dreams because she went and she sends me beautiful things.
So you've never been to Paris?
Never been to Paris.
Oh, what a shame. Paris is beautiful.
I always wanted to go. And
well, maybe it's not too late. Maybe we can get you over there and, get you around the Champs-Élysées and Georges Sand.
Yes.
And all you know them all right, and the Ritz Plaza.
Yes.
That doggone movie had been come out, the documentary on me. One of the stops was going to be Paris, for the film.
Well, that could be an excuse for you to be in Paris.
Yes.
We're gonna have to have a film made of the book, because I'm not holding my breath for the. I think he's waiting for me to be deceased.
Oh no! Well, they've got They have a very long wait.
Speaking of your fabulous book, I just want to introduce it here and hold it up and show everybody. This is April March's The First Lady of Burlesque book. Please go and purchase it. It's absolutely a wonderful read. It's called The Reflections of My Life by April March, The First Lady of Burlesque, and it is just phenomenal. I love it. It's one of my favorite treasures, and you can see look how gorgeous April is here. Isn't she phenomenal? She dated some of the most extraordinary celebrities and well-known gentlemen in the world, including Mel Tormey. Can you tell us a little bit about how you met Mel Tormey, April, please?
I know Mel Tormey's son, James.
Yes, you told me that. I was astonished. I mean,
he's a jazz singer. He's amazing. Look him up. He's always playing somewhere. He's fabulous.
Yes, I know. I know. Well, I met Mel in Oklahoma City. He and his accompanist, Al Pellegrino, came to star in the Derby Club, where I started out as Cigarette Girl and Flower Girl. And so anyway, by this time I was already in burlesque, and I was in town. I wasn't performing at the time. So I was in town, and I went out to the Derby Club to see Jake Samara, the owner. And he said, April, I've got Mel Tormey coming in. And he says, I want you to be here on opening night. So I went, and I wound up meeting Mel, and he right away asked me for a date the following day.
Don't blame him.
Tomorrow I have an appointment at the hairdresser's in downtown Oklahoma City. He said, that's fine. He said, oh, I want to tell you too, when you go to the beauty shop, he said, I don't want you to have an updo. And he said, and no red nail polish. And I thought, here, I just met the man, and he's telling me.
What do you want to do? Forget the date.
So anyway, I did the opposite. I went to the beauty shop in Oklahoma City.
Typical woman.
I'd waiting. My hair was up. I had red fingernail polish on, and I wore high heels. Because when I did the heels, I was taller than Mel. But I got into, he had a baby blue Oldsmobile convertible that he had driven out all the way from California. So he opened the door for me. He didn't say one word. Because I was expecting him to blow up or something. And that would have been the end of the first date. We went to a movie. He was breaking the sound barrier because he loved airplanes. So after that movie, we got a bite to eat. And then he said, let's go to another movie. Let's go to the drive-in and see Roy Calhoun. He says, he's a very good friend of mine. I want to see his new film. I said, I don't think you have time. You have to do a 9 o'clock show. Oh, we'll see that film and we'll get back to the Derby Club in plenty of time. Anyway, we went to the theater to see the movie. We both wound up falling asleep. After 10 o'clock when we woke up, oh my God. I said, you're late. Your first show was over an hour ago. So we got back to the Derby Club and it was packed and everybody luckily was waiting, but I got the blame from Jake Samara, the owner.
Oh.
He blamed me for keeping out so late.
Oh, well, he was only jealous because he wasn't with you. That's why he wanted a date with you.
Anyway,
Right.
we continued dating. That he was there for a week, and we continued dating. And he wasn't a good kisser, and I like men that are good kissers. Jetador,
Was he all sloppy and gooey?
Jetador is the greatest kisser in the world.
Who?
I tell you. Jetador. He is the greatest kisser, I'm telling you, of any.
Nicole, all the secrets are coming out now.
So anyway, Mel asked me to marry him. And I said, I don't know. I've got to think about it. And so anyway, my agent at the time, she told me, she said, after Mel had gone back to California, he called me every day. And so anyway, the agent told me, April, you've got to marry him. He wrote the Christmas song. You'll get residuals when he dies. Anyway, my mother, he went to Oakland, California to see my mother to have her talk me into marrying him. Well, I didn't love him. And I said, and at that time I was very young.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I said, I don't love the man. He's not a good kisser. He's egotistical. I said, I'm not going to marry him.
Good for you.
Anyway, I jilted him. I married a man from Tulsa, Oklahoma that owned a couple of drugstores.
So you had a man with money and you could have all the lipsticks, all the nail polish and all the stuff you needed.
Yes.
So, but anyway, we became friends again in later years.
Oh, nice.
In Washington, D.C., we became friends. He forgave me because he was married, I think, on his 4th marriage at that time. And so anyway, we became friends again. And we remained friends until the day he died.
Wow.
I was quite often, even through his marriages. So.
You know, there's a street in Vegas named after him.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a street here. But there's quite a few streets named after quite a few performers. That's a fascinating story. Do you have any other stories that you'd like to let the audience know about of your happening whilst growing up as a porn star? Because they're fascinating.
A star went with the governor. I had 2 kings after me. I had King Saud of Saudi Arabia and also the King of the Mariana Islands. And they both romanced me. And the government told me that it wasn't safe for me to go. King Saud wanted me to go with him to his castle in Mallorca, Spain, and
Yes.
the castle in Saudi Arabia. But our government, I was given a letter. This is a long story and it's in the book, so we'll cut it short. I gave him a letter that the government couldn't get through to him. But anyway, they told me at the time, they said, April, you shouldn't go because we couldn't guarantee your way back. It's not safe. The king would get tired of you. And they said, it's just not safe for you to go and we can't do anything about it because they needed the airstrip in Saudi Arabia. So anyway, that was my romance with the king.
Thank you for your service, April, for our security.
You're right.
The king in the Mariana Islands, he wanted me to visit his country, but I wouldn't go because he said there's no radio, no television. and he said you'd have to go around in a grass skirt, and he's
That's all you needed.
he was going to teach me how to spear fish. And I said, I don't think I want to learn how to spear fish, and I don't want to.
I can't see you spearfishing myself, but to each his own. Nicole,
Yeah, friendship with the kids.
Nicole, you're listening to all these stories and you're laughing, you're having a lot of fun. You are so proud of your grandmother. What are the stories? What is the most intriguing thing that you look at your grandmother that's been on the stage? She's been a celebrity for many, many years. Absolutely amazing. What is your thought and your idea of this being your grandmother?
Wow, I've always looked at her as this an amazing woman from the time I was a little girl, and I've always looked up to her, and I've always known. And whenever she talked about burlesque, when I was small, I didn't really understand it much.
No.
But as I got older, my grandmother would share some stories with me. She followed her dream. I mean, she initially got into the business to become a movie star, but then she fell in love with burlesque, and she stood with it because she loved it.
Yeah, she did.
So I think she's been an example for me in my life because, I've followed my dream and followed what I love. So,
which is something a little different to your grandmother. Now, what about your mother? Your mother must have many a story because your mother was sort of, going around with your grandmother.
Yes, she has a story of her own. It was different back then as a child with a mother who was, in show business.
Yeah.
So I feel like she has her own story. But, she made it through. And
so your life has been very exciting. Do you get a lot of people that sort of look at you? Obviously, you're a celebrity because your grandmother is, and also your mother, because it stays in the family, these things, and people follow you around. You get a lot of people asking you questions about your grandmother and what it was like and everything.
Yes, they're so intrigued. I mean, some people, of course, naturally, I'm meeting people all the time, and I don't talk about it right away, but
wait for them to bring it up.
Yes, or I'll just after, once I feel comfortable with someone, I'll mention it, and they're just like, wow, that's amazing. I mean, she must have, back then in the 50s, she must have so many incredible stories.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, and she does. And the fact that she can describe something that happened, some experiences she's had in her business and personal life, and talk to us as if it happened yesterday. She remembers the names and the places that she remembers all details. She's like this in the movies too. I mean, if she watches a movie, she'll tell you every star actor that was in it, who the producer was. She's always been great that way with names.
I'm so sorry to interrupt. Please forgive me. We have about 5 minutes left, but I do want to I want to thank you, Nicole, for your beautiful designs and for being a wonderful celebrity hairstylist. I want to thank you, April, for your wonderful book. And also I want to mention Georgette wants you in her upcoming burlesque show that she's going to have, her burlesque film, rather. Please forgive me. And Ninon, please take it away.
I'll take it away. What I would like to do, first of all, April, we honor you as such an incredible woman, because in those days, when you started out, everything was very different. Now they've got less clothes and they do more things than when you did it. And yet when you were starting out doing it, it was sort of all risque and all, and sort of it's changed a lot. How much has it changed?
It certainly has. It's it's the tease. You have to, like, I can like I told you before, I can spend 5 minutes taking off gloves. It's just, it's tease. And
fantastic.
Leaving the audience wanting to see more.
Yes.
Gypsy Rose Lee was good at that.
Yes.
Everything is the tease. And so, back in the days, we spent thousands of dollars on costumes, and you had to have a change of costumes every time you repeated a theater. for a nightclub. So
Yeah.
quite.
I think it was more of a tease then than it is now. Now it seems to be sort of, I'm not going to say they're in a hurry, but they do it a different way, but it's sort of the action starts, like immediately. Whereas I think in your days, everything was very graceful and very beautiful. Okay, April, how can anybody reach you to get your book?
Well, they can reach me on Facebook, and I have 2 pages, the April March Burlesque and the April March First Lady of Burlesque. And they can always get in touch with Nicole too, because we're in touch all the time.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I don't have a website because I'm terrible. I'm not a computer person.
Well, you might become one. If you get your movie out there, you might become a web person, a social media person. You might become all these crazy things that we all do when we get older, but we say we're never going to do it.
I am so proud of Nicole, and I'm proud of her mother for being in the profession she's in. She's an acupuncturist and a body healing and all that.
I love acupuncture. I've had acupuncture for years. My father had acupuncture because he had bad knees. And he absolutely vowed this was, it cured him, it helped him, it was amazing.
Everybody says that, and yet my heart doctor doesn't want me to have acupuncture. And Cyrese says, Mom, Cyrese went to school for 4 years for acupuncture. And she says, I can do acupuncture on you, but I won't.
It's not going to hurt you, but I'm not going to be the one to say do it to anything that happened to you. So, but my father had it, I had it, and it worked.
But I'm very proud of my daughter, and I'm so proud of Nicole for what she's accomplished in her young life.
Absolutely amazing. Well, I want to thank both of you, but before I thank both of you, because you're both amazing, Nicole, how can anybody reach you, and where can they get hold of you?
Okay, so I'm on Instagram at Nicole Cyrese, and also Hair Jewels by _Nicole Cyrese. I do have a website. I have 2. I have a shopping website, Hair Jewels by Nicole Cyrese, and also NicoleCyrese.com. So the information's out there. We do have a code for any of those who are first-time purchasers, our Welcome 15 code.
So you have what's the code? What the code to get to become a member?
So no member. A Welcome 15. They get 15% off their first purchase.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah. Okay, so all my audience out there, hey, we love buying jewelry, and we're going to go to Nicole's, to the Hair Jewels by Nicole. Absolutely amazing. You two have been amazing. And also, AJ, thank you so much for putting all this together. April, isn't she amazing?
Oh, she certainly is.